In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up basic lab for bash scripting. Even you can use any cloud or even local machine as well. So I'm going to go with AWS for this one. So you just need a Linux machine to practice. So once you log into AWS account, look for EC2. This is the reason I asked you to have basic fundamentals on AWS and Linux. I hope you're going to go through that playlist I gave in the last video. Even I'm going to put those in this video description as well. So once you land in here, launch instance. So before that you need to create a VPC. Even you can use default VPC as well. So in my case I do have VPC. So let's say DevSecOps, let's say Bash. It doesn't matter, you can put any name. I'm gonna go with Ubuntu. So even you can use T3 Micro. So I prefer T3 Medium. So in your case you can go with T3 Micro as well. I just want a bit like a machine. Even if you don't need to pay for AWS as well, so even you can apply for AWS startup crates. I do have a video on my channel, so I'm gonna put that in the description as well. So if you can apply for those crates, you're gonna get $1,000. So you don't need to worry about the bill then. That's fine. Now click on create a new key pair. So let's say DevSecOps. So I'm gonna go with PIM key, create key pair. So we can use that PPK for PuTTY. So I'm gonna show you that as well. So now click on edit, choose a VPC, make sure to put this in public subnet because you need to access. I'm just gonna allow all traffic. So I'm just gonna give it 15 GB. If it needed, we can increase the storage as well. And then click on launch instance. What you can do, you can download PuTTY actually. So just type PuTTY, go over here and then click on download and install it. So once you install, because this one gives you, if you go with, even you can use a command line as well. Even you can go with Git Bash. Make sure you can install Git Bash as well, because this is when needed in order to practice Git and everything. So you can download for your suitable version. So once you have that, you can copy that. Even you can use your terminal as well. So I'm just gonna open command prompt. Let's get into downloads. Now the command ssh-i and then a key name devsecops.pem, and then for this Ubuntu, if you choose Ubuntu AMI, default username is Ubuntu. If you go with Amazon Linux, default username is EC2-user, and then paste IP, just press yes. So now you are in. Even what you can do, you can use PuTTY as well. So because if you go with command prompt, if you want to duplicate the session, there is no such option, and every day you have to supply this key. So I don't want you to do that. So what you can do, even you can set up for passwordless authentication as well. Otherwise, what you can do, if you don't want, if you don't remember the command, just connect, click on SSH client. So you can see a command over here. You can simply copy it, open terminal. We are already inside the downloads folder. That's where we have our key. If you press CLS, it's gonna clear screen. Just press yes. Now you are in. This way as well you can do. If you go with PuTTY, what you can do with the PuTTY. So let's open PuTTY, because we downloaded this one is a PEM key. So basically you can use in command line, but if you want to use it in PuTTY, you need to convert that to suitable for PuTTY. So here you can click on load, just load the key. Here you can choose all files, DevSecOps. So you can say save private key. That's fine, we don't need passphrase. So let's say DevSecOps PPK. So let's save it on downloads itself. Okay, that's been downloaded. Now open PuTTY. You can call it PuTTY, you can call it whatever. Once you open PuTTY, type default username is Ubuntu @ and then I'm just gonna put this public IP, paste it, and then click on appearance. I just want to increase this font size, so let's put it 14, and then click on SSH, click on auth, and then credentials. So you need to browse the private key. We just converted to PPK. Let's go to downloads. So we have DevSecOps, the PPK key, and then let's click on session, because every day I'm gonna if I even create new machines, I'm gonna use the same key. So I just want to save it. just put it a name, let's say DevSecOps, and then save. So this is where you can see. Now click on open. Now it's gonna connect. So if you want to create duplicate session, what you can do, if you right click, and then you can duplicate a session. So if you go with terminal, you don't see this duplicate session option. So every day what you can do, once you stop this machine and then restart it again, maybe tomorrow or immediately, it's just gonna get if you reboot the machine, you're gonna have same IP, but if you stop and start the machine again, you're gonna get a new public IP. So once you log into your AWS account, just start your machine and then copy that public IP, open PuTTY, click on here and then click on load. Just replace this public IP whenever you have a new public IP. And then done, you'll be able to connect. Let's type sudo su. Every day we don't need to do sudo su while working, but just for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna use sudo su. So we need to install some tools. Let's say if I type ifconfig, it doesn't work. So you need to run this apt install net tools. So I'm just gonna, even you don't have unzip as well, if you type, you don't see that. So I'm gonna, what you can do, you can install multiple tools in a single command. Apt install, let's say unzip, and then net-tools, and then press enter. So now you got that. Even you can, if you want, you can change font color as well. In those settings as well, default settings, even here as well, you can see. If you click on change settings and then look for colors, and then you can default foreground, background, you can choose. Click on modify. Let's say I'm just gonna choose this color, maybe yellow. Okay, and apply. Now you can see you can change color as well. So now if you type ifconfig, now you can see we are going to install AWS CLI, Terraform, kubectl, kops, and other tools whenever it needed. So for now we don't need those tools. So imagine you got these 4 websites, so you have to check it's whether they are up or not, so whether they're working or not. So if you visit any website, so let's say what you can do, even you can use curl as well. If I go with madhukari.com for instance, so you're gonna get output like this if you use curl. Curl basically stands for command line URL. So what I'm gonna do, so it's gonna give you headers as well, right? So this way you can customize that. So I want to see that HTTP status code instead of this whole thing. So what I can do, actually I can do curl -s and then let's say -o, because the output, if I get some, I don't want to get any output, let's say this, let's send it to null, and then I can see that status code by using -w. So you can put them in quotes and then percentage. Let's put these, let's close this one. Let's say HTTP_code. I just want to see HTTP code. So now you can see you got this 200. If the site is not reachable, let's see, you're gonna get something else. Maybe I'm gonna put one more Y. You can see 000. So that's how you can figure out whether the website is reachable or not. With if you see 200 codes, of course there are HTTP other codes as well. I'm gonna explain them in later classes. So what I can do, actually I can write a script. You can use cat command as well. So I'm just gonna go with VI editor. So let's say you can put any name, status. You don't need to put this extension, but just to identify whether it's a script, so you can put that. Just press I, so it's gonna go to insert mode. Even you can see insert over here as well. If you want to learn shortcuts for this VI editor, I'm gonna put that video in the description as well. So let's press hash and then !bin bash. So this is we call a shebang. So we're gonna tell that this script to use this shell. So let's say I'm gonna define a variable. So let's give it a space. Doesn't matter, but just for the readability. Let's say sites equal to, I'm gonna put them in quotes. Let's say google.com, madhukari.com, just to show you the glimpse of this bash scripting. You can do much more wonders with this tool. Let's say github.com, that's a variable. These are values, and then let's say just loop them in. So I'm just gonna use for loop. For you can put any name over here for site, or you can put any name. Maybe let's say website. For website, in, I'm just gonna put dollar in front of this sites because this is a variable. So this dollar shows that let's consider this as a variable. So let's put colon. I'm gonna say do. That's a syntax. I'm gonna explain all of these later classes. Just try to understand for now. Let's say code. I just want to receive the status code. Code equal. Then let's put that the curl command. We just shows -s -o, and then I'm gonna send it to this output to dev null. And then I just want that HTTP code. So I'm gonna put percentage and this curly braces. Let's say HTTPD. Sorry, it's HTTP and code. And now I'm just gonna loop through these sites. So let's put this website. That's a variable over here. So I'm just gonna echo it. Echo, let's say website. You can put any text here. Maybe you can put multiple as well. I'm just gonna print code over here. That's been done now. Just done. Let's save it. Shift Z. You can press escape first. You don't see insert. Then Shift ZZ. That's been saved now. If you do ls-l, now you can see that it doesn't have an executable permission. Even you can, what you can do, you can run the command chmod +x to executable. You can add executable permission. Otherwise, if you don't want to add the permission, you can simply type bash and the script. Okay, there is syntax error it seems. Let's open. Okay, actually I forgot to put a bracket at the end here. Press shift $, then it's gonna go to end of that line. Then press I and then put a bracket. Now that looks good. Earlier it was in red color. I missed that. Now let's save it and use up arrow to rerun the command. Now you can see Madhukar Reddy, it got 301. That's fine because that's a redirection. GitHub, for the other one, it's not reachable. That's why it's getting. Soon you're going to see the error as well for that. So these websites are reachable. So that way you can use scripts. You can use this script for multiple things as well. Even you can connect your AWS account. You can take VPC list, and you can do many other things. Even you can use these scripts in GitHub Actions as well. We will see that in later classes. So that's how you can run a simple script. So if you want to make it executable, if you type ls-l, what you can do, chmod +x, and then give the script. So if you want to run it, if you run ls-l again, executable added, now you can see its color as well. What you can do, you can simply put dot and slash and then status.sh. So this way as well you can run. So once you're done with your lab, let's go to AWS, right click and just stop it. Don't terminate it, just stop it. Now AWS is not going to charge for this EC2 machine, the CPU and memory, but still it's going to charge you for this storage. But those are minimal. If you have free tickets, you can cover it. That's all for this video. Make sure to create your own lab. Thank you so much for watching.